What's going on, guys? UFC 313 recap and breakdowns. Let's get straight into it. Ozzy Diaz versus Jordan Santos. I picked Jordan Santos by second round TKO. I thought Diaz's chin wasn't going to be enough, wasn't going to hold up. I know Jordan Santos isn't a KO guy, but I don't know. Ozzy Diaz doesn't have a chin. But he survives this one and he gets the win. Super close fight. I seen some people saying Jordan Santos should have won. I don't know. Could go either way. I don't know. I don't want to be biased. Maybe Ozzy Diaz gets it. I don't know. Really close fight though. And yeah, I mean, it was just low level. I don't know what else to say. It was just low level. They were swinging with no power. They were both gassed out. They were both just. It was just a low level fight. Not really anything else to say. But yeah, Ozzy Diaz gets the win by decision. Let's move on to the next fight. Myron Santos versus Francis Marshall. I picked Myron Santos to win this fight, and watching it, I thought this was a robbery. I thought Francis Marshall should have won it. I was rooting for Myron Santos, and even I thought, like, yeah, Francis Marshall's probably going to win that. But they gave it to Myron Santos. I thought it was a robbery. I was happy. They blessed us. I got my pick right because of it. But I went back and rewatched it a couple minutes before recording this. And I actually give round two and three to Myron Santos. I thought Myron Santos slightly outlanded him in round two, and Francis Marshall didn't really do anything with the takedowns. Same in round three. Round one was obviously Francis Marshall. He knocked him down, but I don't know, man. I thought Myron Santos won this fight. I thought it was a robbery, but watching it back, I don't think it was a robbery. But yeah, solid fight, pretty fun. Myron Santos' striking looked pretty good. So did Francis Marshall's, though. To be fair, Francis Marshall he looked pretty good in this fight. Uh, Honestly, I don't know, man. Myron Santos, he's good, but like I don't see him anywhere near the rankings yet, especially in featherweight, such a stacked division. But yeah, Myron Santos gets it done by split decision. Francis Marshall, I honestly think he has some serious potential as well, but he had to wrestle more in that fight. He had to grapple more. He was too busy on the feet with Myron Santos, and he was getting outlanded majority of it. So I don't know, man. Maybe he was trying to look for another knockdown like in the first round, but he just couldn't get it. And yeah, I think if he wrestled more and did more on the ground with his wrestling, he could have got that decision. So yeah, Myron Santos gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. I picked Leal as a lock. This was a pretty easy pick. Leal gets it done by he gets it done by first round TKO. I almost said split decision. Jesus. But yeah, Carlos Leal gets it done by first round TKO. And this was a pretty easy pick in my opinion. Carlos Leal, he looked really good against Rinat Fakhretdinov. He won that fight in my opinion. They robbed him of that. And now he's 2-0 in the UFC with a win over Rinat Fakhretdinov and Alex Morono. So, man, I'm excited to see what this guy does next. Maybe give him like a Brian battle or something. I don't know, man. Give this guy like a fun fight. Give him somebody that's just gonna stand and trade with him. But yeah, Alex Morono, man, I think he should retire. He just doesn't seem to have it in him anymore. He never really did, to be honest. But man, he just didn't seem to have it in him here. He got hit and just kind of blobbed around the cage and eventually got finished. He didn't go down, so fair play. But Alex Morono is notoriously a pretty tough dude to put down. But yeah, Carlos Leal gets this one done by first round TKO. Is he on roids? Probably. Do we care? We do not care. Carlos Leal's fun. He's a fun fighter. He's cool. And just let him be on roids. I know that sounds crazy. I'm joking, obviously. But, like, let him be on roids. Because who cares? It shakes up the welterweight division. Put him in there against, like, a Brian Battle. Or, like, maybe if Kevin Holland beats Gunnar Nelson, put him in there with Kevin Holland. That could be interesting. But, yeah, Carlos Leal. Yeah, he's fun. He's got a lot of potential. I could unironically see this guy in the rankings. I actually think he's really good. He's got power in the hands. And yeah, Carlos Leal gets it done by first round TKO. Let's move on to the next fight. Bruno Fajeda versus Armin Petrosian. I picked Bruno Fajeda by first round TKO. I thought this was a pretty clear underdog pick. I didn't know where Petrosian was going to have success. He was kind of landing some stuff with the kicks, but he kept nutshotting Bruno Fajeda. So yeah, that's what you get. And Bruno Fajeda, man, he cracks him bad in the first round, but doesn't finish him. And then they kind of just coast the rest of the round. Second round, they end up on the ground. Fajeda's on top, and it looks like Armin Petrosian is about to, scramble out and end up on top. But as he kind of rolls over, Fajeda grabs onto like an armbar triangle thing and taps out Armin Petrosian. So, man, great performance from Bruno Fajeda. This guy's really fun. Um, I'm telling you, man, a dangerous fighter who doesn't just swing every moment he gets, like a patient fighter who actually waits and like looks for his shots, is so much more dangerous than just a brawler. And that's what Bruno Fajeda is, man. He just sits and waits. And he won the first round, found a beautiful shot on Armin Petrosian, and arguably was a 10-8 because the point deduction for Armin Petrosian kicking him in the nuts two times in a row. Like, I don't know. Was it intentional? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I don't know. They took a point away, so 10-8 in the first round for Bruno Fajeda, and then he just finishes them in the second. So yeah, good performance for Bruno Fajeda. I don't know who this guy should fight next. Maybe like a Cesar Almeida. That could be a fun fight. Um, maybe maybe a Shara. That could be an interesting fight. Um, maybe I don't know. There's a lot of fun fights you could do with Bruno Fajeda. And for Armin Petrosian, man, dude, his new record is now 8-5. Oh my god, dude. Armin Petrosian. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Armin Petrosian. Like he's cool. He's a fun guy. He's a fun striker. Don't cut him from the sport. I don't think he should retire, but he definitely needs to fight lower level competition. He cannot keep up with even this level of competition. He can't really keep up with. Um, Actually, now that I think about it, he has a win over Gregory Rodriguez. So maybe I don't know. Armin Petrosian's a weird fighter. Maybe the Shara loss did something to his mentality. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Ray Saruya versus Joshua Van. I picked Joshua Van by decision. He gets it done by decision. I thought he would at least lose one round, maybe the first, but man, Ray Saruya just couldn't get anything going. He loses the fight, loses his zero. And as a former Ray Saruya glazer, I'm disappointed in you, my man. I used to hype up Ray Saruya, telling people, man, this guy's a ranked potential fighter. This guy's really good. But honestly, man, even though I think his grappling is high level, and I think he has really good grappling, I don't think his striking is anywhere near good enough to put him in the rankings. He doesn't have the striking to set up his grappling. Like I was saying it while the fight was happening. Like if he had the striking to set up his grappling, he would have been much more successful in this fight. But he just doesn't. He's just not able to set up his grappling because he has no striking. The dude cannot strike to save his life. But dude, on the ground, man, he's super creative. He had a lot of. He had one really creative takedown where he kind of grabbed Joshua Van's arm and like pulled him forward or like over his shoulder or something. I don't know. It was really weird. But Surya, man, he's got super creative grappling. If this guy can work on the striking and if this guy can get good striking and develop a solid striking base to help him set up his grappling, I could definitely see this guy in the rankings. But man, he's got a lot to work on. As for Josh Van, good performance, but man, the constant takedowns from Ray Surya and the constant just Ray Saruya diving at his legs every 2 seconds. Joshua Van just couldn't get going. He couldn't get any volume off, but he won the fight, outstruck him on the feet. And man, Joshua Van, this guy's just fun, man. I want to see Joshua Van in a 5 rounder. Do like, dude, like Joshua Van versus Asuel Mabayev in like a 5 round fight night main event. Like, I want to see Joshua Van melt somebody over 5 rounds because I already know this guy's a killer in a 5 rounder. But yeah, Joshua Van gets it done by unanimous decision. Happy for my boy. These are two of my favorite prospects in the flyweight division. Ray Saruya, I know he can be boring at times, but his grappling is super creative, and he's only 22 years old. I know he's going to develop striking eventually, and dude, once he develops good striking to set up his takedowns and set up his grappling, we're gonna see a whole different Ray Saruya. This guy's gonna become like an insanely good fighter. But yeah, Joshua Van gets it done. Super happy to see that, and yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Bobby Green versus Mauricio Rufy. Mauricio Rufy, holy fuck, this guy's good. The fighting nerds are different, dude. I'm telling you right now, the fighting nerds are insanely good. Mauricio Rufy spinning wheel kicks Bobby Green out cold. Nasty. Lands it right on the temple. Dude, and the way he set it up was so beautiful. Mauricio Rufy, as soon as the fight starts, he backs up Bobby Green. He's waiting. He's waiting. There's a couple little light taps here and there, looking for his openings. Lands a nasty right hand right down the middle. Rocks Bobby Green. Right, Bobby Green's on the fence. He's trying to circle off, but he's scared. You know, he doesn't want to circle off into like a left hook or nothing because he knows Rufy's power. So he's going, he's moving, and then Mauricio Rufy fakes a left hook, spins, throws the spinning wheel kick, and knocks Bobby Green unconscious. Hits him right on the temple. It was so nasty. This is probably going to be KO of the year, and that's just how it is. This is going to be the KO of the year. I don't see how anybody else can top that unless we get like another Masvidal situation where we get like a 5 second flying knee KO, or like the only other way I could think is like if we get like a nasty like flashy head kick KO or something in like a championship fight. Like if somebody's spinning wheel like if Yuri and Ankalaev fight at the end of the year and Yuri spinning wheel kicks Ankalaev out cold, like that's like the only way I could see this being beaten as KO of the year. But yeah, I picked Rufy as a lock. I don't know how anybody was saying Green could get the upset. I knew this was going to be the most one-sided fight on the card. Rufy's faster, younger, hungrier, more powerful, longer, smarter, better. He's just a better fighter in every single aspect of the sport. And Rufy just proved that he's levels above. So Rufy, man, he defeats Bobby Green. And honestly, next for him, I was gonna suggest a Jalen Turner fight, but I'm gonna tell you why that can't happen once we get to the Jalen Turner fight. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Spoiler alert. Jalen Turner fucking retires. Jalen Turner retires from the sport. We got Jalen Turner retiring before Bobby Green. We got Jalen Turner retiring from MMA before Tony Ferguson. I was gonna suggest Roofy versus Jalen Turner because that would be a fun fight, but yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Roofy called out Beneil Dariush. I don't know if I want to see that. I like Benny, and I know Benny would get fucking flatlined brutally in that fight. Maybe Fiziev. Fiziev's on a 3-fight losing streak now. Roofy deserves a ranking spot. Fiziev's only 11th in the rankings. Maybe Roofy versus Fiziev. That'd be a really fun fight. But yeah, man. As for Bobby Green, I don't know. Either retire or just fight Unks. Like fight like Clay Guida or fight like Michael Johnson. Bobby Green versus Michael Johnson would be really fun. Um, Michael Johnson probably KOs him, but I still think Michael Johnson Bobby Green could be a really fun fight. But yeah, man, this was an insanely fun finish, super sick, and yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. Amanda Lemos gets it done by unanimous decision. I picked her as an underdog. I knew she was just going to have more experience, just be better. I thought it was going to be like a damage-based decision where she defends the takedowns of Lucindo and outstrikes her and outdamages her, which she outdamaged her as well, don't get me wrong, but she won the fight mostly with grappling. She outgrappled her in the first 2 rounds. Obviously, Lucindo kind of came back in the third with some good grappling, but yeah, man, Lemos looked really good in this fight. It was boring. Yeah, I'll admit it. It was a boring fight, but oh well, whatever. I got my pick right, and Lemos is back in the win column. Uh, yeah, nice to see that. So I get my underdog pick right, and Amanda Lemos gets it done. So yeah, uh, yeah, Amanda Lemos gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I was rooting for Bahamondes. I kind of wanted him to win, even though I didn't want to get my pick wrong. I like Bahamondes. I don't always pick who I want to win. Shocker. I actually pick who I think's gonna win sometimes, not just who I want to win. But yeah, man, I'm glad to see Ignacio get the win. He did not do it like I thought he was going to. I thought it was either going to be a decision or maybe like a TKO. I did not expect a submission, honestly, because I was under the impression that Jalen Turner had the better ground game. He's more proven on the ground. He has way more submission wins. And Jalen Turner, I don't know. I just thought he was going to be the better fighter on the ground. He takes down Ignacio Bahamondes, and he's controlling him on top, lands a couple good elbows, and then Bahamondes just fucking slinkies his way into a arm triangle and gets the arm triangle finish. So yeah, good win for Ignacio Bahamondes. Jalen Turner. Let's all take a moment to appreciate Jalen Turner real quick. Retiring from the sport at 29 years old because he lost 2 fights in a row. That's that Jalen Turner mentality. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hopefully he's just being a drama queen and he's not actually retiring because I do like Jalen Turner. He does put on fun fights, but man, I don't know, man. Ignacio Bahamondes, great win. He gets the submission victory. And next for Bahamondes, ooh, you could go anywhere with Bahamondes. I think he deserves a top 10 fighter. Maybe someone like a Gamrot. I think Gamrot could be fun. I think I don't want to see Dariush. I don't want to see Dariush get brutally KO'd. I think Dariush and Moicano should run that fight back. Or not run it back, but reschedule. I think Dariush and Moicano should reschedule because I still think that's a sick stylistic matchup. But yeah, man, Bahamondes. I think next for him should be Gamrot. It would really, if he can beat Gamrot and stuff some of the takedowns and stuff, that'd be very impressive. I don't know if I'd pick Bahamondes in that fight. Ludovic Klein was out grappling Bahamondes, and Gamrot is a fucking monster on the ground. But yeah, man, Ignacio Bahamondes gets it done, and Jalen Turner retires from the sport before Bobby Green, before Tai Tuivasa, before Tony Ferguson. Yeah, we got Jalen Turner retiring, 29-year-old by the way, only a year or two older than Bahamondes, and Bahamondes is considered an upcoming prospect. But yeah. Oh, wait, I just thought of something. If Michael Chandler loses at 314 to Paddy Pimblett, Bahamondes versus Michael Chandler. That'd be a really interesting matchup. But yeah, Ignacio Bahamondes gets it done by first round submission. Let's move on to the next fight. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev 2, the rematch. This was a sick fight. Definitely fight of the night. It was just as fun as the first one. Closer though, in my opinion, even closer. I think Gaethje won the first fight. I don't know. I see people saying Fiziev should have won that fight. I slightly scored it to Gaethje. And this one, honestly, this could have went either way. I honestly wouldn't have been mad if they gave it to Fiziev. No, number one, because we need new contenders in the division, and number two, because I would have got my pick right. But yeah, this is one of those fights where it could go either way. Not a robbery. Fiziev could have got it, but they gave it to Gaethje, so that's good. And yeah, we get to see Gaethje win again, which is always fun. Fiziev definitely wins the first fight. Fiziev definitely wins the first round, lands the better shots, mixes in takedowns, which was surprising. He had Gaethje in like some weird leg reverse thing. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You guys just have to go and watch it. But yeah, second round, Gaethje drops Fiziev in the clinch with an uppercut. Nasty uppercut from Gaethje. Fiziev was down, and Gaethje wins round 2. And round 3 literally could have went either way. Round 3 was super close. Both guys were starting to slow down, and honestly, you could have gave that round to either one, but they give it to Gaethje. So yeah, I don't think Gaethje's retiring. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, he didn't retire. I think Gaethje wants to fight Islam for the belt. So yeah, yeah, he won here, but now a couple months from now, you got to see Islam Makhachev submit Gaethje. So yeah, it's not gonna be a fun time for Gaethje fans when he has to fight Islam for the belt. But yeah, man, Rafael Fiziev, he's on a 3-fight losing streak now, dude. I know one of them was like an injury, and two of the losses were from Gaethje, both very close decisions, could have went either way, and the other one was an injury to Gamrot. So not the worst 3-fight losing streak at all, but honestly, man, I want to see Fiziev versus Ruffy. It's a big test for Ruffy, big jump up, and it's also, a chance for Fiziev to shut down one of the fighting nerds, which would put a lot of hype on Fiziev's name, get him back in the win column, and I just think it's a good fight for both of them. They both have a lot to win in that fight. They both have a lot to gain. So, yeah, man, honestly, early random prediction for that fight, I'd maybe go Rufi. I think Rufi could beat Fiziev in a 3-round fight. Um, you can say what you want about Rufi slowing down against James Lontop. Fiziev slows down as well, and I think Rufi would win early. But yeah, Fiziev loses, Gaethje wins. Let's move on to the main event. Fun fight. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Dude, I need to stop switching up on my picks last second. I did this with this fight, and I did it with the Gaethje fight. I was gonna go Gaethje, and then fight week comes, I switched to Fiziev. I was gonna go Ankalaev. Fight week comes, I decide to switch to Pereira. I need to stop doing that. I always get my picks wrong when I switch last second like that. But man, Ankalaev gets it done. Terrible performance from both fighters. I'm not gonna lie. Pereira looked flat. He wasn't really throwing anything. He wasn't getting any rhythm going. And Ankalaev couldn't get a takedown to save his life. His boxing looked and he was just holding against the cage for dear life. So yeah, I'm disappointed with both these fighters. Ankalaev wins. He's the new champion. I think Pereira should have won the fight. It was super close. Could have went either way. Round 1, Pereira definitely. Round 2, Ankalaev definitely. Round 4, Ankalaev definitely. And round 5, Pereira definitely. All comes down to that third round, and I think Pereira slightly edges out that third round. Very, 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 very close. But not a robbery. I just thought it would, it's the same as the Gaethje Fiziev fight. Not a robbery, but in my opinion, should have went the other way. I don't think the Fiziev fight should have went the other way. I slightly scored it for Gaethje. I thought Gaethje should have got that decision, even though it could have went either way, and it wouldn't have been a robbery. This fight could have went either way, but I do think Pereira should have slightly got that third round. One of the judges, Sal D'Amato, it's always fucking Sal D'Amato, I swear to God. Sal D'Amato gave Ankalaev the 5th round. How? What did Ankalaev do to win that 5th round? Like, I don't know, man. Ankalaev, both these guys didn't impress me in this fight. Both these guys let me down. Pereira, like I said, he looked flat, wasn't really throwing any strikes. He just looked gun shy and just didn't want to throw anything. And Ankalaev became Mario Batista Part 2, the fucking light heavyweight version of Mario Batista, and just held Alex Pereira against the cage. Went 0 for 11 on takedowns. Pereira, that's one thing I am impressed about. Pereira defended every single takedown. I thought Ankalaev was going to take him down at least once or twice, but Pereira defended every single takedown. Ankalaev could not get this guy down at all. And I want to say something else. Cage control should not be rewarded. If you cannot get the takedown and you have to rely on if you cannot get the takedown and you have to rely on just holding your opponent up against the cage, but you're unable to get them down, that should not be rewarded. That should not be rewarded as control time. That should just be like nobody's winning in that area. Whoever's landing the better strikes against the fence should be getting there. And dude, most of the time Ankalaev was literally just holding him against the fence, not doing anything. I don't think that should be counted as anything winning a fight. That's not how you win a fight, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. It's the rules. And he Mario Batista maxed and beat Alex Pereira. I see a lot of people super mad at this. I'm not that mad. Obviously, I wanted Pereira to win. He's a way more entertaining fighter. He's way better for the sport. But now we can go see. Hopefully, Alex Pereira moves up to light heavyweight, hopefully Alex Pereira moves up to heavyweight and beats up a bunch of fat people. That'd be nice. And Ankalaev, we can watch him be the champion of light heavyweight now, I guess. I don't know. You guys know what this means, though, right? A storm is coming. Let's go for that. I think Yuri Prohaska can beat Magomed Ankalaev. Because, listen, okay, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, right? If you guys watch my prediction video, I said Alex Pereira was not going to back up if he gets hurt. He did back up, which I didn't think he was going to do because he usually doesn't do that. Yuri Prohaska actually won't back up. Yuri Prohaska will actually just like stay on Magomed Ankalaev. He actually won't back up. I know I said that about Pereira, and he did back up, but Yuri's different. Yuri's not going to actually back up. I think he has better head movement than Alex Pereira, especially against straight shots. He doesn't do it as well as like the hooks, but Ankalaev's hooks are not that amazing. He's more known for straight shots, which I think Yuri's better at defending. And I don't know, he has lateral movement. He's way more unorthodox. He's more dangerous in my opinion than Pereira because he has that accumulative ability to just like finish you. And dude, honestly, I think he's a better defensive grappler than Alex Pereira as well. So I think Yuri's a much harder fight for Ankalaev, and I think Yuri actually has a good chance. So all you guys are crying now, saying Pereira, Pereira. I wanted Pereira to win too, but hey, this just means Yuri might be the champion again because he doesn't have to fight a technical kickboxer. So yeah, uh, Magomed Ankalaev gets it done by unanimous decision, 48-47. Even though I thought Pereira should have slightly got it done, I don't think it was a robbery. And hey, that's the sport we watch, man. That's why we love this sport. Sometimes we love it, sometimes we hate it, but we all watch it at the end of the day. So yeah, UFC, man. But yeah, let's move on to the official recap. 6 out of 10 on picks, decent. Not the best, not bad though. I'm happy with that. At least I didn't go negative, so that's what I'm happy about. Always good to go positive. Fight of the night, easily Gaethje versus Fiziev, back and forth, super fun. And best finish, easily Roofy versus Green. This might be the best finish of the year, and we're only a couple months in. Yeah, I went 2 for 2 on locks, 2 for 3 on underdogs, so I did good at those. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought about this card, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.